Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome to the Shen Trading Journal. Today we're going to chat about how Bitcoin should actually be priced at 38K per coin right now. If you're feeling this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, share it around, and ring that bell. Let's dive in. Let's peep that market cycle, aka the historical loop. Where should Bitcoin be at this exact moment? If we're counting from the halving, we're about 122 or 123 days in. Right now, Bitcoin's down 14% from its previous all-time high of about 69K. Now, if we look at the last cycle, 122 days after the halving, Bitcoin was down almost 50% from the previous cycle's high, and the cycle before that, it was down 40 to 50%. So based on those past cycles, we should be down 40 to 50% from the last all-time high. But here we are, only down 14%, and some of y'all are freaking out. For real, I don't know how you're gonna survive long-term in this market if that's got you shook. Let's do some quick math. If we use the last all-time high of about 69K and drop it 50% like the last cycle, Bitcoin should be at 34,352. If we use the cycle before and drop it 45%, we'd be looking at about 38K per coin. So yeah, Bitcoin should be chilling between 34K and 38K. But the reality? We're at 60K per coin, fam. This cycle is extra strong. If you can't handle Bitcoin bouncing around between 70K and 60K for 6 months, you're gonna have a tough time making bank in investments. The next pump could easily take us over 100K. And speaking of that 100K prediction, yesterday's video about Bitcoin hitting 100K and just needing that final push, it's got some folks shook telling me I'm dreaming. It's pretty funny, to be honest. I'm guessing these skeptics don't have much experience in the Bitcoin market or investing in general. Anyone who's been in Bitcoin for more than one cycle should know that where we are right now is way better than before. Compared to past cycles, we're doing so much better, it's not even funny. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin and the stock market. Recently, we've seen some divergence between Bitcoin and stocks. Sometimes stocks go up while Bitcoin stays flat or even dips. For the past 2 years, Bitcoin often moved with the stock market. Stocks up, stocks down, Bitcoin down. A lot of people didn't like that relationship. They were like, if crypto moves just like stocks, why are we even investing in it? But now that there's some divergence, with stocks going up and Bitcoin not moving, some people are still not happy. If that's you, I hate to break it to you, but you're just gambling, not investing. Here's the deal, Bitcoin and crypto diverging from stocks is actually a good thing. Even if stocks keep pumping and crypto doesn't move, that's still good. It means crypto and Bitcoin still have room to grow, still have that upward momentum. So all this talk about stocks outperforming Bitcoin in recent months, I see that as good news, fam. It means Bitcoin's gonna catch up or even outperform stocks by a lot in the future. But if you're always focused on the short term, getting upset when stocks are up but Bitcoin isn't, always wanting Bitcoin to outperform, that's a dangerous mindset. The market doesn't care what you want or how you think Bitcoin should perform compared to stocks. It's like if you're not holding any Bitcoin right now, hoping it'll drop lower so you can buy in. The market doesn't care about that. If it decides to pump to 120K tomorrow, that's what it's gonna do, and you'll be left empty-handed. If you're sitting there with no Bitcoin, or even shorting it, and you get triggered by videos like yesterday's where I said Bitcoin's ready to hit 100K, you're basically the definition of a noob in this market. The market doesn't care what you think, doesn't care what I think. That's why I never go all cash in this market. Even if Bitcoin hit 300K per coin, I'd still keep some position in the market. Why? Because you never know when the market might double from a high point or halve from what you think is a low point. All right, let's chat about the economic slowdown and the upcoming interest rate cuts. We've been hearing about this nonstop for the past year. In my 21 and 22 end-of-year video about 20 and 23 predictions, I said I thought we'd see rate cuts in 20 and 23. But here we are, still no cuts. I think the rate cuts have been delayed by a year. Why? The US economy isn't as weak as everyone thought. People were guessing we'd see rate cuts at the start of 20 and 23, but now we're almost in Q4 of 2024 and still nothing. It's because the US economy is still relatively strong. These upcoming rate cuts are controlled cuts. Recently, more people have been saying that markets often crash after rate cuts, but there are two types of rate cuts. One is reactionary, like when there's a black swan event, a major crisis, or a bank failure. Those kinds of cuts are more likely to cause market crashes. The other type is controlled cuts, like what we're expecting now. Everyone thought we'd see cuts in 2023, but now it's looking like September 2024, a whole year later. This shows it's a controlled cut. It means the Fed thinks the market can handle it, which is why they delayed. This is generally good for everyone and the whole ecosystem. I think when these controlled cuts actually happen, even if there's a pullback, it won't be too violent. So for those thinking every rate cut leads to a market crash, I don't think that applies in our current situation. Always remember, price action creates narrative. Narrative doesn't create price action. I've said this so many times. Market stories are driven by price. When price goes up, the market scrambles to find stories explaining why. When it drops, media rushes to find reasons for the fall. Price is never driven by stories, at least not in the long term. Lastly, some viewers have asked about my plan to go all in at 47K to 48K. They're wondering what I'd do if Bitcoin breaks below 47K and goes to 40K, 38K, or 35K. So let me share my strategy. If Bitcoin really breaks below 47K and drops to 42K or 38K after I've gone all in at 47K, it's simple. I'd just chill. I still have monthly income and extra cash to DCA into the market, so if it really drops below 47K, I'd just relax and keep putting my extra monthly cash into the market. If it drops to a price I think is unbelievable, like 38K, I might start selling other assets to buy more. It's the same thing I did at the bottom of the last bear market, but breaking below 47K is a very low probability event. It's like asking if tomorrow could be the end of the world, or if the earth might explode next week and we all die. Sure, it's possible, but you wouldn't spend all your money today because of that tiny chance, would you? It's the same with me going all in at 47K. The chance of Bitcoin dropping below 47K is super small in my opinion. If it does happen, we'll deal with it then. There are always other strategies we can use. If it does happen, I'm sure I'll be making videos about it and sharing my strategies and methods with you all. That's all the news for today, fam. Hope y'all have an awesome weekend. If you're feeling this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, share it around, and don't forget to ring that bell. Catch you next week. Peace out.